Oh, man.
Okay, everybody, Coach is here. We'll start with an opening statement. Please remember, raise your hands, then we'll get a microphone to you, and you'll get called on from the back. Go ahead, Coach.
Man, I wish I can get up here and just say, man, we're happy with the win, and this is a special one. And, not every day do you get the opportunity to play in this place, jam-packed with those fans, and have an opportunity to be the top 5 team in the country. It's really special, and I'm so proud of our guys and the way they continue to trust us coaches. They do exactly what you ask them to do. That's what makes them so special, is that they're willing to do whatever you tell them to do to help us have success. And it's an honor to coach them. It's special, man. You can hear those fans, man, the students. And I really didn't want to leave that field. I mean, to spend some time with those students. And, man, this is a game that I'll never forget. But extremely pleased with the way our guys played. Offense, defense, special teams, all 3 phases really played well. And we're going to enjoy this one. We're going to enjoy it tonight, enjoy it tomorrow. And then at some point tomorrow, we got to get back to work and get ready for Navy. But this is a special win for me and for this football program. With that, I'll open it up.
All right, we'll go third row on your left, Tim Priester.
Coach, Clemson's defensive line, certainly one of the best defensive lines in the country. At what point did you realize that you were in a position to physically dominate them?
I don't want to say we physically dominated them, but we knew going in, Tim, that we have to run the ball. You look at every game that we've won. I think we've rushed the ball 40-plus times. That's been our backbone. And we knew this defense line was special, but we couldn't shy away from our strength. And it was a challenge to our offensive line, challenge to our quarterback, challenge to our running back. But you know what? I think at some point during the game, their confidence kind of rose and said, listen, we can block anybody in the country. And they showed they could do that tonight.
And then second row on your right, Tom.
Marcus, why tonight for this group?
I wish I could, explain exactly how, this season is gone. You can't, and it's never as you foresee it on the front end. I think you look at a game. It's never how – we didn't foresee this game going that way. We didn't see this season going this way. We don't shoot as an adult. You don't see life on the front end exactly going the way you dreamed. But you know what? I'm happy that the kids continue to believe in what we're doing. And today was one of those special moments. We're not going to listen to difficult times. We're going to have difficult times as a program. That's part of this growth that we're continuing to strive to achieve. But today was a day it all came together, and they were able to truly execute. They really prepared their tails off. And I think tonight was a reflection of the way they prepared.
You were one of the first ones up the tunnel and into the locker room. To have just maybe a little quiet moment there before all the players and everybody else gets in, like when you exhale, what's your first thought there?
I don't know. I haven't been able to yet. George didn't let me stay on the field as long as I wanted. Kind of got me out of there, said, get out of here. And I hugged the coaches because usually we go straight and we call up and we say our post-game announcements and we move on. But I went to the coaches' locker room and gave them hugs, man. It's an honor to work with those guys. They truly prepare their tails off, and you know what? Just like your players, your coaching staff feels, the ups and the downs, and they just work their tails off. And, it's an honor to coach with those guys too. So that's exactly what I did. I went to my locker room and went to the coach's locker room and gave them hugs and told them how much I appreciate them. And then the team came up and we addressed the team, and now we're here.
Down in front on your left, Patrick Engel.
Marcus, I remember in leading up to the Ohio State game, you talked about needing to run the ball because maybe that was kind of how you had to play Ohio State. And seemingly this game, you needed and wanted to run the ball because that was just your strength. So I guess what does it mean to kind of win a strength-on-strength matchup in the manner that you did?
Yeah, we wanted to run the ball. Ohio State seemed so long ago, but there was points of the game we weren't able to do it, and at some point tonight, if we weren't able to run the ball with efficiency, we were going to have to throw it a little bit more. And we threw it when we needed to, but we were running the ball with the efficiency that we needed to continue to extend the drives. And you know what? You have to play to your strengths, right? And that can be within a game. That's not within. It can be within each game. And today, one of those strengths was playing really good defense and running the ball on offense.
And then on special teams, I know we want to be aggressive every week, but in being this was kind of a battle of two special teams units that are pretty good, how much of an emphasis and then just a boost was it to get that kind of special teams game flipping play early on?
Yeah, he did it again. You know, that group did it again, and kudos Coach Mace and his hard work and his preparation. You know, and I challenged that group yesterday. I said, listen, you won't surprise anybody. Everybody in the country knows you're coming after a punt, and but when you find ways to execute and you find ways to play with relentless effort, it doesn't matter if a team knows you're coming after a punt or not. And that's why I'm so happy for that group because, listen, everybody knows we're coming after punts. And for them to go out there and be able to execute, we're not tricking anybody. You know, it's about the way we teach it and the way they go out and they execute. And today was a great job by that punt block unit.
And then staying down in front on your right, John Bryce.
Hey, Marcus. Week after week, win or lose, you've come in here and said, we're a good football team. This is a good football team. But you've obviously never been through anything like this before. So how did you continue to deliver that message, and how did you continue to show yourself that you were a good football team?
You know, it's tough because you have some moments in your office when you're by yourself that you got to take a deep dive into yourself. Like, what are you doing? What do you have to do to get this thing changed? And you got to believe in what you're doing, you know. But when I'm in front of that group, you got to be the most confident individual that they've ever seen, you know. If their leader gets out there in front of the group after a loss or after we don't play well with their head down, what are they supposed to think, you know? And so I make sure when I walk out of my office, I'm the most confident leader that I can be because they need that. They will go as their leader goes, and I have to do that. But listen, there's times as we all have, we're by ourselves in solitude and really have to reflect and have to talk to ourselves a little bit. But I think the thing I've learned is that, as what I said earlier, is that it's never how we foresee it on the front end. You know, care if you go undefeated and win a national championship, or if you're 6-3 and you've lost a couple games that you didn't believe you would have at the start of the year. But you can paint a beautiful picture, right? You can make this thing the way you want as long as you continue. You can't just, as I told the guys, man, this is a spiritual school. We can't just pray and think things are magically going to change. We pray, but you got to put in the work, and you have to be very intentional of saying we're not just trusting the process. We have to fix it, and we have to attack the deficiencies that we have, and that's going to be the challenge, even after today. After a great win like this, are we still willing to go and take hard look at ourselves and say, how can I improve as an individual? After a win over a top 5 program, can we still be selfless? Can we tune out all the outside noise? Because it's easy to tune out the outside noise when you're not winning because it's all negativity, right? But the challenge to this group is, can you tune it out even right now when somebody might pat you on the back and say, you're doing a great job? No. Continue to stay focused. Continue to work on the things that we know it's going to take for us to improve, because that's the challenge every week, to improve.
And you referenced the selflessness. So you've got wide receivers that aren't necessarily getting a bunch of balls thrown their way, but they're still blocking. You got 3 different running backs all carrying it. You got veteran DBs congratulating Ben Morrison after his pick 6. I mean, what do you attribute that to, and what are the benefits now and long term for that?
To their coaches, those position coaches that every day are with them and continue to reinforce that message. To the type of kids we have, you know. Notre Dame attracts a special individual, right? It takes a selfless individual to thrive at a place like this that understands it's bigger than yourself. And I think that's the beauty of being at this place. We got a whole bunch of kids that want to be national champions and first-round picks, but they're selfless, and they understand about the bigger picture. They understand it's bigger than themselves, and that's why it's a joy to coach them. But every day, those position coaches have to reinforce that message.
Second row on your left, Tyler James.
Marcus, how does Benjamin Morrison put himself not only in position to make those plays, but come through with 2 huge plays for the defense?
He's just a mentally tough kid, you know. He got a PI called against him. then comes back and gets an interception, got a ball caught on him, then comes back and gets a pick six. You know, credit to his parents. I mean, he has a special set of parents. Dad that played in the NFL for a while, but also he's a minister, and you know, I think helps him spiritually and helps him mentally stay in the right mind frame. And his mother is just an unbelievable woman that has raised a couple gymnasts, and you know, it's to me a reflection of his upbringing. But he's an ultimate competitor that doesn't get shaken, and you know, it's really uncommon for a freshman to be like that.
How much did the defense's ability to limit Clemson offensively impact what you guys were able to do on offense and be able to sort of control the ball?
Yeah, it took a lot of pressure off of them. You know, to start the game, go up 7-0 after a punt block. You know, offense kind of ran the ball a little bit. We had a couple punts, and then to go up and score before half, right? So go 14-0 in that middle 8 period, and it was huge because now as the defense continues to force Clemson to punt, the offense doesn't feel that pressure. We have to score, you know, and our defense came up huge today, and again, I'm proud. They've done a really good job all year, and I'm proud of that group and that coaching and then those coaches.
And then last question, front row on your right, Pete Sampson.
Marcus, I think it was a couple weeks ago you talked about you can't just build on what was done here before. You had to do it your own way. Is this proof of concept for that? And then does this sort of help when you talked about you have to project confidence? How significant is tonight for you where projecting it is going to be a lot easier now?
Yeah.
You don't have to talk yourself into it.
Yeah. I mean, to answer your first part of your question, absolutely, this is still a part of a new foundation, right? You can't just change leaders and think, as I said, it's just going to continue to do like this. You know, we have to build this foundation the right way. And so that we believe it comes infallible. You know, it becomes infallible that, you know what, you got such a strong foundation, man, that you, no matter what happens, man, that you're going to be solid. What was I going to say? What was the second part of that question, Pete?
Oh, just, I mean, you talked about
confidence.
You got to talk yourself into being confident.
You know, as I told the team, I think I might say this, winning does two things for you. In my mind, I said this to the team. It gives you that feeling, right, that it's hard to reciprocate, the feeling of being a winner. And it's short-lived, though, especially here, because next week we got to get ready to go. But for tonight and tomorrow morning, you know what, you have that feeling that's one of the greatest feelings in the world. But two, it's a confidence and belief in what you're doing. You know, it reaffirms the process, it reaffirms the things that you teach. But the challenge will be, as I said to this group last week, the challenge will be, will those lessons that you lose, that you gain when you lose, right? The failures, the things that it's so easy to look at yourself and say, how can I get better? And what do I have to do as an individual to get better? And how can we tune out the outside noise and be intentional on our work? Those are things that it's easy to do when you lose. The challenge will be for this group is when we have success, man, to continue to have that mindset of improvement, of selflessness, and of continue to just staying together.
And what can Drew Pine get out of tonight? I mean, Ian Book's back, so it's kind of his guy. He's, you know, sort of hugging Tommy on the sidelines while the game's still going on. Like, how can this sort of boost him the rest of the way?
Man, he's a winner, and you know, he has to be unselfish and continue not to look at stats. Just look at, do I do the things necessary for us to win, you know? And he did. He took care of the football. When we decided to throw the ball, he did. He took some shots, you know, it really ran the play clock really efficiently. There's a lot of things that he's going to be able to build off from this one, and he's doing a great job of leading our offense.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, guys, thank you.
All right.